lots of trucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, bomb squad is going to be the guys in the out, and then your guys will all be in logi trucks.
What are the logi trucks used for?
Transport.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, give it to the full squad.
Okay.
If you need someone to assassinate the enemy trigger man, I can get it done.
Well, I'm trying to
video of doing that.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cell phone tracking and then decide whether I want to go after the bomb or the objective, because there is a meme like in the op doc where one of the hideout locations is right next to one of the bomb locations, and I'm wondering if Dorf is going to use that.
Probably not. I think he's pick. Let me take a look at the doc, but I know which one he's gonna pick.
Wait, I was kind of bugging out when all of this happened. We have to defuse the bomb under 45 or whatever minutes.
It's dependent upon the location he chooses.
Okay. He's
Dorf's
choosing
gonna pick location A. Guaranteed. The Chad location A is the way to go.
35 minutes?
Yeah. I don't care what port you have, you're not getting into apartments in 3 hours, let alone 35 minutes.
Why are you planning to tank?
Apartments is a death trap.
What's the green location for?
Hey, you told Ryan to get his ass down to my squad.
Hey, what's the green location for on the map?
For shit redemption.
If that closes, copy. Copy.
Are we gonna be short?
Take 3 short day. There's 75 live up. Yeah, so we're pretty short. We should have more than this though. We're missing like...
Oh yeah, we should have 15 more.
Yeah, a lot of people. So we're missing about 8 minutes to load it. Yeah, this map takes a while to load it for some people. Hey, where's 50 at? Where you at? Good to see you.
Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to our Squad Ops One Life event. I am your commentator this evening, ShadowedRitual, joined today by Phoenix. How's it going, Phoenix?
It's going well. How are you, Shadow?
And I'm doing well. It's time for some exciting Squad Ops One Life action. Today we bring to you Operation Rotten Eggnog, and at its core, Operation Rotten Eggnog is an attack, or search and destroy op. The British are searching for some Russian chemical weapons with a little bit of manhunt thrown in. They are also tasked with, you know, hunting for the trigger guy. But before we go into that, welcome everybody who's joining us. Let's go over who's participating in this op band-wise, and then we'll throw it to Phoenix for the
mission 1 or intel mission 2.
So for the British side, we have platoon lead Storm with his squad lead Ventric, Best Pony, Bump, and Bag of Joe. I believe Best Pony is Storm's 2IC. For the insurgents, have platoon lead Dwarf, his squad lead Spine, William FBE, Alpha Guido, and Evan SMA, and I believe Alpha is Dwarf's IC.
I believe Evan might be, actually.
Evan? Okay.
Is this all? Is this everyone?
So for the platoon leads, pretty even, I'd say. Both pretty experienced. Dwarf might have a few more ops under his belt, but they're both pretty.
We should be getting close now.
Both pretty similar in their playstyles, I'd say. Squad lead wise, standouts, best. Vito's pretty good. Evan good. Should be pretty even overall. Phoenix, do you have any opinions on them?
Fire team leaders go grab an AR. Right?
Yeah, I think Storm tends to play slightly more aggressive.
Yeah, you're fine.
Has a more aggressive mindset than Dorf does. I think Dorf likes to try out all the, stick to the tried and trues. But certainly within Albazir, there's always room for
If you aren't going
some
to
winging it.
DMGs, just let me know.
I feel they're both pretty adaptable when it comes to their plans.
Copy.
Storm is definitely more aggressive, but they can both definitely flow with the punch.
All right,
Or some other
back.
plans are pretty. If their plan doesn't work, they
that is in one second. Let me get you a grip.
Other than that, we'll see what happens with this operation. And to go over this this mission brief before Storm goes into his, go ahead and bring up the map.
There's a couple objectives there.
Sure. So it looks like today we have an INS element who set up chemical weapons inside the city limits of Al-Basra. So today the British forces will be tasked with a two-part mission. One's going to be search and destroy, trying to search for those chemical weapons, destroy them, and their second part of their mission is going to be identifying and hunting down the HVT. INS have an HVT triggerman who is capable of exploding those chemical weapons. It is, of course, advantageous to the British to be able to hunt down that HVT and eliminate him prior to his ability to blow up those explosives. If they are unable to do so, though, and INS ends up being able to blow up those chemical weapons, the British will need to exfil, and where they will set up and wait for a decontamination team to clear Al-Basra before they can once again move in.
So it's a two-part mission for the British. EX3HD, make sure adjust my mic. I'll try to get it from cutting in. But British two-part mission. They need to search one of those 4 locations marked on the map, the yellow markers, where there will be a barrel with an IED on top. British or the INS have already their location. Have they? They have. They're moving to one of the positions. But the INS have placed an IED there. Chemical weapons. I believe it's called, the chemical weapon is EGNG. Is that what he did? Yeah. And if they can, yeah, EG. So they can either destroy that or destroy the triggerman at one of 2 locations. A lot of buildings the INS can up in, protect their triggerman, and it's gonna be pretty difficult for the British to have the location yet.
It would appear that Dorf is choosing the southern hideout location for HVT. Unknown if they've picked an actual chemical location site yet, though.
Right. The INS can also start a full squad here at Marketplace. Squad. The comms are bad. Oh. Just the. Let's go ahead and go over assets. Figure that out, and I'll fly over the insert and start location. British assets include per squad 1 SL, 2 FTLs, 2 automatic riflemen, 1 medic per squad. The platoon army, which the platoon lead can deal out as he sees fit, is 1 marksman. Pretty decent sized change for our operation.
Yeah, it's not common that we see marksmen inside squad ops.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. So the marksmen, they get 2 MGs as well and 2 light anti-tank. How those get dealt out. INS assets. Oh, they also get 2 FV4 FV432s, which I believe are the Bulldogs, and 3 logistic trucks. So they're gonna have plenty of vehicles and assets to maneuver around with, which is gonna be big because trying to find a hole in Al-Bazr is all about being able to maneuver around the outside, I feel, and being able to change up if the route isn't really working. It's a streaming software issue. Might need some tweaking, but it is real FMK. I will try and get it fixed during the brief here, I assume. Starting soon, or is he getting his guy? We'll see. INS assets include 1 squad lead, 2 fire team leads, 2 automatic riflemen, 2 raiders, and 1 medic per squad. And then the cell cache, which is basically the platoon armory, is 2 heavy anti-tank kits and 4 light anti-tank. So they're gonna definitely be able to deal with these Bulldogs if they can get a side shot or a rear shot on them. But I've seen these Bulldogs bounce the anti-tank shots to the front, no problem. I've still got the map up.
Noon crunchy. These are what? Just second op.
I've seen the Bulldogs bounce shots to the front pretty easily. About 4th. The INS also playing the Triggerman is a scout with 1 takes a scout kit. Vehicle wise, they get 2 just Kentuckys. That is it for the INS. Who do you think has the upper hand asset?
That's a tough one. Like you said, those Bulldogs can sometimes reflect a lot of those lat hits, especially if they're at an angle. But INS does have a hack kit at their disposal, so I think it's looking like eFank's the one with that hack kit. So getting that into position is going to be key for them to be able to repel boarders as they enter Al-Bazr. And I guess we'll have to see if the British implement that marksman as a breaching tool, right? Trying to be able to make sure they can keep heads out of windows as they push into the city.
It's banana works.
X audio's messed up. Where is it? Okay. Trying to get it. I think it might be. I don't think they're doing a brief. Found it up.
Okay, let's get everyone loaded up.
Worse now.
Dentrick, you're taking the last logi.
Are we convoying out, or do you want us just getting out of there?
We're going to convoy out. So let's get the logis lined up.
How's that? Maybe a little bit better? I think it's a little bit better. Clearly the mic sensitivity. I'm fairly certain this solved it. Good. Yeah, people saying good.
Actually, we're going to
Alright. It was me, Phoenix. Sounds like the noise gate. Yeah, I think it was the noise gate. I tweaked it. Live was called at 1:40, so live in about 45 seconds. I don't want to there. Yes, that's better. Looks good. Got the 2 Bulldogs going to pull out. We've got 3 logis getting ready to move. We didn't really catch any of Phoenix's plan. He stuck with squad briefs. And I understand the point of just sticking with squad briefs and not doing a full platoon brief.
Yep, we're going to be going,
but I still love me a full platoon brief. I like the full platoon to know everything. But with these individual squad briefs, these squad leaders can go into more detail about what they can do as an individual or as an individual squad. So I understand the merits, but you know, it's a full platoon brief. Phoenix, do you have an opinion on that? I just think it's awesome. Full platoon briefs, personally.
I think full platoon briefs are pretty cool. As a command, I'm pretty guilty of typically doing squad lead. Sometimes my plans are a little bit more intricate, for better or worse. But ultimately, that means I need to make sure my squad leads get the nitty-gritty details down to the riflemen.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. The individual squad briefs is probably better in the long run. As we go live, the British are going to move out, going to go ahead and looks like they're going to swing around the west side of Ruins and Al-Qura, and then try and push into Al-Bazr from the west. pretty solid approach. It gives them access to gas station, which is going to be their exfil location if they can destroy the chemical assets.
Sorry about what I'm trying to.
And not too many buildings close to the western edge of Al-Basra that are really tall, that are really going to prevent them from pushing in nice and close.
Yeah, and it looks like seeing as INS is set up on that southern side, it's nice to know that the British aren't going to try and work their way through the entirety of Al-Basra north to south.
Let's go ahead and fly over, check out the INS position. So for those of you just joining us, welcome. Squad Ops, One Life Event, Operation Eggnog, commentators for this evening, Shadowed and Phoenix. The objective of this operation, the INS have some chemical weapons in the area. Where did they decide to leave it? Have they set it up just yet? I don't think so. I don't think they've set it up quite yet. Not seeing a spot here. But their Triggerman Dwarf is in the area setting an IED down. And, oh, here it is. Here's his chemical warfare. Just left it out in a back alley and is threatening to blow it up. British infantry, British Delta Force is in the area, going to try and take out any INS forces trying to blow this and try and disarm it at the same time. INS going to sort of take up position in lower fringe. It looks like he's already got a full squad in the Oasis Park area. Going to try and take charge of these high rises. He's got control of 2 of 3 of them. And they're going to be set up in a pretty solid position while the British forces move. British don't have Delta FY. Well, blame it on Expert for his mission brief. Then I'm just reading it as it says in there. Just came in. What's going on? Mega accept. The INS forces have some IEDs or some chemical weapons in the area. British forces trying to disable them and take out the Triggerman, i.e. Dwarf, who's also platoon lead. Is the goal to stop the detonation or to blow it up? The goal is... I guess the primary objective is to stop the detonation, period, I'd say. Right, Phoenix? If they
They have a couple options at their disposal. They can either eliminate the Triggerman, or if they can get in before the Triggerman's able to blow it up, they can eliminate that chemical explosive just by shovel.
Eyes on us at any moment.
How do you get in on these games, KPN? Check us out, squadops.gg. You have to have our Squad Ops basic course. And after you sign up on squadops.gg, take our basic course, only about 45 minutes to an hour long. You can then participate in any and all of our events. But everything starts at squadops.gg. Everything is on the calendar, all in your time zone, and pretty easy to get in on. And if you got any questions on our Squad Ops basics or our Squad Ops courses in general, Phoenix is actually our SOT team manager, so he helps keep those courses updated and in line and running smoothly. I'm throwing him under the bus with that. Yeah, squadops.gg.
Happy to answer any questions.
Usually the water looks nice, shame it's radioactive. Yep. The water in Al-Basra, you step in it, you die. Bulldog's taking a very roundabout path. Well, I guess the full platoon is taking a very roundabout path, hugging the river's edge on the west, pushing south. They're going to try and take Highway 9 all the way in, looks like. I'm not sure if they know exactly where the explosives are. They might have a general idea of where the cell phone range is, so they might know if they've chosen either North or South Pole. Phoenix is Bay, Phoenix knows all. Well, that's true.
One of those is true.
How many vehicles do they have? Mega accept. There are 3 logistics trucks and 2 FV432s, aka the Bulldogs. These things are monsters. They're bouncing frag rounds all day, bouncing hat rounds to the front. They're going to be amazing. Open top, so they're not completely invincible. but they are pretty solid vehicles, especially for our ops.
Give us about 100 to 200 meters in between them. Infantry is going to be in the middle. We're going to walk up, get into within engagement range of the compounds that are going to be to our east. We're going to have our suppression elements start opening up on the windows and doorways, and we're going to move on.
It's kind of like the IED. You just look down.
So Storm's plan is a north to south line pushing east, with the Bulldogs on the highway pushing east alongside the full element. It's I mean, I guess it's a solid plan. The thing is, it's all open ground. So it's going to really rely on these Bulldogs to keep the heads down of all of these infantry, all of these INS infantry in buildings and in high-rises and whatnot. I'm not sure if it's really going to work out for them, because he wants a pretty solid spread. He wants about 300 meters or 200 meters from north to south.
Okay, just to confirm, you want my extra fire team not
a lot of open ground he's going to have to cross. We'll see if it pays off for them. No cover, actually, I agree. No cover for them to cross this.
So let's get at least 10 meter spacing in between everyone. Give me big spacing.
Do you want my what is it? My vehicle set up, one on the north side of the line.
Getting
one
set
on the
up.
south side?
Yes, that is correct.
Sounds like Dorf has actually spotted this enemy brick column. He's starting to get his guys set up on the western side, and he's calling out infantry online.
I want to try and keep everyone on the
He's
south
spotting, so Dorf's going to spot this pretty easily. Who's the lucky marksman? Who is the lucky marksman? The British do get one marksman. Who is it? Looks like Hero lucked out.
So
He's the marksman.
We're breaking this line formation the moment we see contact, right? Because like, there's always rift to turkey here.
Hero, here's the marksman. Right in the smack dab center of the formation. Let's see if he can do any kind of work.
Alright, we can start moving forward, guys. I'm comfortable with
RPK dream scenario. You're not wrong, DX. If they get caught out in the open like this,
negative Bulldogs are going to be
we'll see.
with infantry.
Infantry starting to move. Does he have any kind of flanking element? Or is this it for the British forces?
Enemy scouts on top of the building, 90 degrees.
It would appear this is his full platoon he's got online.
Yeah, full platoon online. And it looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look bad.
He's got some micro terrain to work with, but they do have 700 meters of open desert they gotta move through.
Yeah. The idea is solid. The terrain may not be advantageous to a move like this. Well, they've got plenty of ground to cover, though. I think they're gonna get within probably about 200 meters of them before they open up, though. I'm assuming from Dwarf, gonna let them, you know, maneuver out in the open a little bit before deciding to cut them down.
We got one inside fringe that we can see as well, 90 degrees east. Exterior to fringe.
The only downside about this way, you can get spotted miles away. That's right, Mr. Uzi. They spotted them. In fact, they did spot them, what, 600 meters away, 700 meters away? And they're just going to watch the British sort of march their way in.
Dorf has given the command that his guys are free to fire, so we may actually see some open shots. There we are.
Yep, shots out on Omar, Pipe Funk, Milkshake. This far left flank for the British, the northern flank for the Bull Element. They're pinned down. Things free to engage. Unfortunately, we're not going to hear the Bulldogs shoot. There's that 50 cal bug with the admin
There we go.
cam.
On target, on target.
But it is firing.
Higher, slightly higher, slightly higher.
And Bump is guiding it in.
No, not
So,
like 2,000
Bulldogs
meters higher.
is firing.
There we go. Slightly lower, slightly lower.
Alright, the Bulldogs are opening up. No kills
gun,
to
get
be.
off the gun,
Actually,
get off the
insurgents
gun,
get
get off
one
the gun.
kill. But they're fully stopped. The full platoon is stopped at this brush. They need suppression. They need to keep this up. Phoenix, is there a time out to cert? Example, haven't played in months, do I need to redo basic?
Typically, if someone hasn't played in a long time, we'll sometimes just do a quick fundamentals check, make sure they know everything that we teach in basic. And if that's the case, they're happy to either keep their tag or we can reinstall it if they've at some point left the Discord. In some circumstances, though, if a lot has changed or if the person doesn't feel they're confident in all the things we teach in basic, we're always happy to put them through the course again.
And again, the courses are pretty short, and the SOTT guys do a lot of work to make sure they're informative and fun. Such a long way to go still, Skelly. Yeah, I agree. This is the closest element here. Best Pony loses Ryan. It looks like Nozaki is the one who's gone down. They're trying to push, but there's just so much open ground. And as far as they've gotten east, I think this is as good as the train's going to get. I guess Londarts can push forward a little bit further, but it gets flatter and flatter the closer you get, and it's just more difficult for them. They just need to keep up the base of fire.
Dwarfs 2, I see Evan has actually called in that he has to take cover. Sounds like the British are doing a very good job of keeping suppressive fire down to those men.
So far in kills, 0 for the British, 3 for the Insurgents. Insurgents killing them, but yes, the British also keeping up that solid base of fire. It looks like the HML goes down, and they need to keep pushing. They need to keep up the aggression. Best Pony goes down.
Keep pushing forward. Bound by fire team.
Bound by fire team. Storm's just telling them to keep pushing forward, keep up the aggression, because if you get caught out here not shooting, and then allow the INS to sort of re-peek their windows, it's all over. Surprised they haven't all died yet, Mega, except, yeah. They're losing more and more. It looks like 6 down for the Insurgents just now. I'm not sure if the British are running out of steam or not. Londart's furthest element east. He's trying to make a go of it, but it's pretty tough. See the round just pinging down directly in front of Londarts and friends.
Alright, we have a spirit tilt.
Wow. What are their options here? He committed a lot to this eastern push. Londart's trying to make a charge of it, goes down. Bag of Joe just behind him, also been tagged. He may go down here. Cobra falling close behind. No, Bag of Joe and Cobra gonna make it.
He may find that he needs to rotate to some of these abandoned ruins to his southeast, just to try and get another element pushing in through a different flank.
I agree. Push these guys. Like Squad 4 is in a position to maybe rotate to the south element, maybe remounting up in the Bulldogs and being a little more aggressive with those. Would be the call, but he's got to be wary of the heavy anti-tank and the light anti-tank hits. They get a lucky shot with the platoon full, or with a Bulldog full of guys. They could definitely swing it against him. Bag of Joe goes down. Looks like E-Fink was the one who took the shot. Actually, maybe it would have been like Alpha Guido and the guys in the far buildings over there in Oasis.
Hey, bum.
I've heard Dorf say he believes this is the full platoon, but he's keeping that northern element there just in case there is a 4th squad of the British who may come from another. As I was alluding to at the start, Dorf sticking with the tried and true defensive mechanic.
The Storm goes down. British have lost their platoon lead. Update on kills: 0 for the British, 12 now for the INS. The British getting torn up as they try and move through. Unfortunate suicides there. I'm not sure what happened. Unlucky grenade, or somebody died to the Bulldog. They rolled into the water by accident, it looks like. Unfortunate. It looks
That's how it goes. That INS driver safety training does not always pay off.
It looks like that was going to be a maneuvering techie, if I were to guess. Try and get in and maybe possibly cover the south ruins. Dorf possibly seeing that as an avenue of approach. British not seen it so far as they continue to try and push direct east. I really want to see them mount back up in some of these Bulldogs and be a little more aggressive with them. You're not making much headway here, pushing through the opening. Maybe even use the Bulldog smokes. They haven't.
It looks like they're currently using them as a screening element.
There they go. They're trying to use a smokes a little bit.
There we go. Bulldog takes 1 lat hit. As you can see, though, it reflected. Not a lot of damage taken.
Yeah, not a lot lot of damage at all. Dentric able to make it up to some ruins. This may be some headway they've got, but at this point,
Remember, the main
a little too. 1 kill for the British, 13 for the INS.
Got to keep in mind though, the British lost 8 people to this vehicle accident over here.
Oh, that's true. That is very true. So it's only 1 kill for the British, 13 kills for the insurgents, but the British are down. Yeah, or the INS did lose, yeah, about 8 guys to that car accident, I guess. Radioactive water gets people again. That's right, Yuzi. Bulldogs pushed up too late. Yeah, I would agree with that. He could have been a little more aggressive with the Bulldog. We're not sure if they've been firing the whole time. We did see them shooting, and it looks like he's reloading from shooting just now.
105 to 120. Somewhere over there.
Yeah, We Are Airborne gets mowed down by Revy.
I gotta keep shooting east, so let me know if he pops out again.
So the Bulldogs could very well have been firing this whole time. We just haven't been able to tell because of the admin cam bug. But I think they could have been more aggressive in their positioning overall. Like, as far up as like New Hook here, he's in a really good position. And if he was in this position earlier, that might have been a little more suppression close up where they needed it.
It does look like British are starting to make their way into some of these first Western buildings. Dorf's 2IC Evan has actually called for a slight retreat back, as they still believe there's a full platoon to their west.
They've got a flanking element here. Sugarheart, the Stig, Groot, Alpha Guido and friends, Bartok, no, not Bartok Warrior, Major Amartaz. They're in a really nice position here to just peek over the highway and catch these guys as they push in.
Yeah, they're certainly making a sneaky burn movement here.
Maybe too late to get as an effective charge as they could have, because British now have some walls between them and Alpha Guido's squad. And it really swings when you get into these CQB environments. It really starts to depend on how well you can shoot and how well you can how well you work as a squad to push into some of these buildings, because if you get stuck in a doorway, it's easy to get mowed down. You have to keep up that violence of action and continue to push, even if the guy in front, you know, takes a bullet to the face.
You good on ammo?
It's absolutely. We actually teach that in our new advanced SOC course, all about how to assault a compound, breach buildings, and the two things we definitely make sure we prioritize is make sure you have buddies covering you and good comms so people know what the breaching method is.
He's down, he's down.
UK Sharpshooter goes down as he tries to peek a corner. Dentrix here trying to push another alley. Not having a lot of luck. Bulldog takes a shot. Bulldog's okay. Guy who was sitting on the outside unfortunately does not. Bulldog's gonna get out of there just fine. Where's the other Bulldog? Both Bulldogs working really close together. They both taken flat rounds. I'm not sure if they were frag rounds or heat rounds, but both not looking terrible.
Yeah, death count actually only has a difference of 4 right now, so it appears that between vehicle accidents and the INS, sorry, the British winning a couple gunfights inside the city, they are making a little bit of headway.
Get an actual count. 15 British forces, give or take, and for the INS, 9 over there. 18 or 19 for the INS. But British have forces more in a concentrated area, and that may be what they need to continue to push in here. As Kumquat clears out a building. Only 1 casualty for the INS, or sorry, 1 casualty for the British so far.
They're up there.
APA, APA, watching that stairway, not gonna allow anybody else up. And he is a raider, so that PPSH is a monster at close range. I'm gonna try and toss a frag out. Not gonna be effective. APA gonna see him. Nope. Kumquat takes him out.
He's dead.
Now Alpha Guido's squad suddenly not in an okay position, as he's gonna try and push from the north south, it looks like, and now the British are in cover. Alpha Guido having a shootout with Milkshake and Omar, missing all of his shots. Gonna have to go back to reload.
I think Omar was a little lit up there. I think he had a dark screen.
Yeah. Dark Milkshake goes down to Alpha Guido. Omar not managing to take out Alpha Guido in return. Omar is a medic though. Goes down to a frag. Nice frag from Alpha Guido. Takes out Abelo and Omar. Alpha Guido's guys pushing in. Oh, Alpha Guido goes down. Where did he go down to? Looks like Warface over there. Yeah. Update on
Guido
kills.
needed his squad with him. He had the aggression to move forward, but I think the message wasn't passed on to the squad.
Yeah, he left behind about a fire team. Shughar, Bravo, 2-6, the Stig, and Major. Should have pushed across with them. Atomic Peach and Cat Plays look like they're going to try and push in from another angle. Loving this game, still new to it. You should definitely check us out, squadops.gg, Gramps. And hang out with us on our Discord, play squad, play, looks like Bravo 2-6 gets taken out by the Bulldog. Play squad, play Postscriptum, play other games with us, hang out. We're always playing squad, most of the time. Gets a little dead around the Australia time zone. Guido had a nice run. Update on kills, 14 for the British, 28 for the Insurgents. It's pretty even overall. This looks like a wider gap, 14 and 28, but the Insurgents did lose a lot to a car accident. So I'd say there's only a difference of maybe 4 kills. British bringing it back, and they're in a really solid position here to push the British out of lower fringe.
Yo, who's in band?
Not sure.
Yeah, we actually still have 22 minutes until the timer on that detonation goes off on those chemical weapons. So it's looking like if British can keep up the momentum, they may be able to get in there with just enough time.
Yeah, so 22 minutes before this IED here goes off, and then the chemicals get released, and then I believe the British have to exfil and run away because they can't stay and fight in a chemical reinforcement area. Comms have not been great overall for Storm since the comms have gone down. Let's check out who's still, or since the original command has gone down, let's check out who's still alive command structure wise on both teams. British forces, they've lost their original command. They've got a wipe squad, squad 4, Freedom Fighters a fire team lead, Lex Ryan is a fire team lead, baggage. They have none of their original squad leads up. So it's gonna really come down to like Lex Ryan or Freedom Fire sort of taking charge and leading these guys on. It falls apart a lot when they lose original command structure. Like so, INS forces, they still got dwarfs, they still got their original platoon lead. Swine's an original squad lead. Cat Plays as a fire team lead.
They still have their 2 IC as well, and Evan.
So they still got Evan. Is Evan still up?
Oh, he may be down.
Yeah,
apologies.
I think Evan is up or down, but they've still got Swine and they've still got Dwarf. That's 50% of their command structure. Just about 2 of 5.
What are you guys seeing on the ground up there?
Fractions are hard. It's okay.
Fractions are tough.
We got nothing. We've been wiped before we even got close.
What's up with the unassigned? Gramps, you have to go unassigned because there's a bug. If you stay in the same squad, you can see everybody who's in admin cam in your squad, and it's
the objective
something
would be on the
that needs to be
northwest corner of the
fixed, but
cyber
it's the way to deal with it right now.
Push up there.
Yes, sir.
The British forces are pushing the INS who have sort of holed up in Dwarf's building. They've got a fire team across the street to sort of try and cover the entranceways.
It looks like Bulldogs are actually starting to push in as well.
Yeah, they're being really aggressive with one Bulldog. The other Bulldog with Lex Ryan and Dubs is going to try and push in on a flank. I like the idea. Make sure this flank is clear. They knew that Alpha Guido had guys in the area. So pretty good call there. Otherwise, they're going to regroup and start to push south. Freedom Fighter, or Lex Ryan seems to be the one taking charge. Lex Ryan and Freedom Fighter. I like this. Somebody's got to take charge. And they're stepping up. Always good to see that with the fire team leads. Frag round
Ice
out
Cube
on
taking
Ice
that
Cube.
hit, yeah.
The be alright if they've got a medic. Do they still have a medic?
He is all set. He's got a medic right there with him.
Yep. There's a medic. It's your chest.
So with their breach, the British are actually doing a pretty good job of keeping it lateral. Right? They're staying in the buildings as they creep east. They've got some people down here in the south with Freedom Fighter, and it looks like they have a slightly good push with the northwestern with the Bulldogs. Looks like they're trying to envelop the remainder of Dor's forces here.
Oh no, Sear Chest goes down to the Bulldog. The Bulldog freaked out. Looks like that's their medic. Oh no. That's their only medic.
You see what
we'll still see if they can recover from that. British force is gonna continue to push south. I like the idea of keeping the buildings in between them. I just think they're choosing the wrong avenue to push. They probably should have kept it close, because now they've got that full soccer field in between them. Unless they're gonna go completely around the soccer field and then come in from the east southeast. But they're putting a lot of open space between the British and the US, I feel.
We're gonna move on this outer edge, try to cut through the middle.
So Freedom Fighter, Ryan, hero, the bulk of the British ground forces, it looks like. Bulldog gets shot out. Lex Ryan gets shot out, leaving Dubs. No, Dubs gets shot out. This Bulldog is completely unmanned. Yep.
They've still got one guy in their southern Bulldog. He looks like he's doing his best to get an eye over that soccer field. Maybe getting ready for the British to push.
Yeah, New Hook's the one manning that southern Bulldog. Other than that, they've got 4 guys on the ground. So 5 British forces versus...
Going one by one. We know the objective building
about
is,
8
but we don't know
insurgents in 2 buildings,
at.
maybe 3. Marksman still alive? Marksman is not still alive. Hero, actually, yeah, your Marksman is still alive. Hero is the Marksman. HPT has been killed. They took out Dwarf. We didn't even notice. Dwarf must have peeked the window here trying to get the Bulldog. Yeah, Atomic and Cat plays failed.
Bulldog, we are coming to you.
They're gonna mount up in the Bulldog and get out of there. Alright. British completed their objective. No trigger man.
I'm on your gun, apparently.
They're not even gonna clear out the IED. They just need to get out of there.
With the British having taken out INS's command, they may actually have the advantage here. If they can safely exfil to their location, they will then have that defender's advantage.
Bulldog must have sprayed the windows. That's probably exactly what happened, Yuzi. Bulldog was in the perfect position to sort of spray that. So Swine is probably going to be the one who takes charge. He was the last remaining original squad lead. Cat plays as a fire team lead. Atomic Peach is probably also a fire team lead. There's still a lot of guys there that can take charge if Swine goes down. But they know that they now need to head to the exfil location or seek out the British forces and prevent them from getting out of the Al-Basra city. Unfortunately, vehicle stealing is off, because how cool would it be if the INS stole that Bulldog? Yeah, but vehicle stealing's off. I don't think they have the training to drive the Bulldog. They're gonna just move north down the center road of Al-Basra and try and get into a position to assault gas station. We got 7 versus, how many are in this Bulldog? Less than 7.
Hold on, I'm gonna go. Maybe you're gonna go up to the right of this bridge. We're gonna.
About 5 total. Including a marksman.
I'll re-arm with smokes and shit again if we need them.
Yeah, it looks like it has certainly swung in the British favor. You know, 7v5 doesn't sound great, but they do have the defender's advantage and that bulldog to work with. Swine is briefing what's left of the INS, alerting them to the enemy location, getting them set up to make that final push.
Swine's always a really solid squad lead. I always like him as a command too. He's always done good as command. Keeping his guys informed.
So where are we going?
Exactly what you should be doing, especially with this low amount of people. If you go down, you don't want them to be completely lost. You want them to still be able to complete their objective. So here on Ryan, guys on the ground. Looks like they're going to take charge of gas station. Hero is the marksman. Still hasn't gotten any kills with said marksman kit though. So it hasn't done much.
I think their avenue of approach over the desert left it a little bit hard for a marksman to be as effective as you might want him to be.
Yeah, I agree. They
He
probably
likely had to
wanted to get him into the city sooner.
Certainly. He likely had to do more hiding than shooting.
Right. The Bulldog's driving right past the INS forces.
In the gas station area.
They didn't spot him. This gives them a rear shot on the Bulldog. Can they take advantage of it? They don't look like they have anybody in position 2. Not with a lag hit. Bulldog's going to make it out. That was certainly an opportunity for the INS to take out the Bulldog. They just didn't have any assets there to deal with it. Do they have any lag kits?
It looks like they have 3 raiders left and 2 riflemen.
Yeah. So it's going to come down to getting into gas station and, you know, building to building fighting where that PPSH will just start mowing people down. And they pushed in. Boxier, Acorn, Swine, and Big Ragu pushed into the southern parts of gas station point. I don't think this is technically on the point, but I consider it with this wall and whatnot. This is a foothold, as they've got 5 guys in here. They're taking shots at Freedom Fighter, it looks like. Bulldog's suddenly not in a great spot to lay down any fire, and if he tries to maneuver into position, he's just gonna get shot out.
I suck at fucking shooting.
With those 3 raider kits, if they can maintain the aggression and actually get into some CQB, they may be able to turn it around.
I agree. They can maybe swing up the east side, or sorry, north side of gas station. Use the buildings where Atomic Peach and Cat Plays are positioning towards. Continue to swing around there, and then suddenly, if they're in the same buildings, it's a different ball game for the INS. Don't the INS get more grenades now too, or the Raiders? I believe the Raiders get like 3 grenades now.
Looks like INS are getting some smokes out, hoping they can get into position without all that open fire from those second floors that the British are set up in.
So New Hook and Ice Cube gonna reposition this Bulldog right over Atomic Peach and Cat Plays. They're gonna get in the second story and they're gonna just easily shoot out. I believe Ice Cube's the one gunning this.
Looks like Hero is actually able to get a shot off on Big. He's gonna be able to bandage. He'll be okay though.
Shit. Okay. They're coming around our right side.
Swine is pushing. Swine and Revy are pushing Freedom Fighters building.
I can't see up there though. If I get up there, they're gonna shoot me. I'm gonna try anyways.
Good multi-front push from the INS, coming in from a couple different areas.
It will fuck you up quick.
Fine. I don't know if I want to peek it again.
I'm trying to figure out the best angle to spot everything from. Yeah, this push here with Swine, Revy, and Acorn is really solid. Freedom Fighters watching the corner though. Trying to land some frag grenades right on Freedom Fighters' balcony. It's a tough shot, tough lob. Continually a little bit too far.
Watch the stairs,
Cat Plays and Atomic gonna push up onto New Hook's Bulldog. They managed to shoot him out. Atomic Peach shoots out Ice Cube. They've essentially decrewed this Bulldog though. Leaving British with 4. Hero taking shots at Cat Plays. Yeah, it's Hero trying to take advantage of that marksman kit. Not managing to follow through with it just yet. Oh, there he goes. Takes out Cat Plays.
Get out of it. Switching to gun. Copy. Careful. Yep, you're getting taking shots. There you go.
So New Hook is in the Bulldog, taking shots at Atomic Peach's building.
I don't like this.
See if they can keep up this fire. 4 British forces versus 5?
Yeah, I'm in command now.
Yeah.
Just watch below us, make sure they don't push up the stairs, dude.
Roger.
I'm listening in on Spine right now. They're setting up a couple avenues of making sure that everyone's on the same page before they begin for final execution.
So they still got Swine.
New Hook, what can you man?
So somebody over here, I don't remember who said it. I think it was a Freedom Fighter. He said, I don't like this, I'm in command now. Whereas Swine is a little more take charge. He's got a chance here. You can shoot this guy out of the
Doing that now.
Bulldog, but killing the engine of the Bulldog.
Good call. Always a good call.
One in gas station.
Freedom Fighter spotted Acorn. Atomic spots Freedom.
They can get in that 2-story and see directly in our building.
And New Hook spots Atomic.
I got a contact 023.
Who's Triggerman? Triggerman died, Greyboo. Triggerman was Dwarf. British killed the Triggerman, managed to exfil. Now the INS are trying to take them out. New Hook is managing to deny a lot of areas for them to advance from, but he can't watch his complete right flank. Swine and Big Ragu in a really nice position to take New Hook out here. Swine
gets him.
New Hook's dead, leaving Freedom Fighter, Ryan, and Hero. Only ones remaining.
I think we're surrounded, boys.
Sounds like Freedom Fighter is now aware of the fact that his Bulldog gunner is down, so he exfils a little bit further.
This is our home. This is our save point.
Should have put a sandbag so I'm not blocking the walkway but covering. Someone just jumped the fence.
Reminder for those of you unfamiliar with squad ops, we always run 2 rounds, so when either the Brits or the INS win this round, we'll swap teams and see how each command approaches that same mission, but from the opposite side.
Ryan goes down trying to trade shots with Big Ragu and Swine. Tags one of them, but not much else.
Go ahead, I got the stairs.
Hero's got a bandage, taking shots from CNC. Freedom Fighter trying to watch the stairs. Big Ragu about to push.
Grenade.
Pretty okay frag.
Atomic Peach may be able to get a good shot off here through this window.
Yeah, he does. Nice shot onto Freedom Fighter. Hero takes out one, takes out Big Ragu. And Hero goes down
Takes out Hero.
Yeah, Atomic Peach getting on that rooftop, shooting into the doorway. Good little angle there from Atomic.
Absolutely.
So,
that was a good breach through the stairs as well from INS.
Yeah, they definitely kept up the aggression and pushed through there. The British forces just weren't able to secure that. So, British managed to secure the first part of their objectives, take out the Triggerman, disable the bomb. They just weren't able to exfil as the INS overran them. Good plans on both sides overall. Maybe a little awkward trying to push over the open ground initially. Might have been able to, in my opinion, should have used the Bulldogs a little more aggressively. Get your guys up against the walls quicker. But we've got, you know, that 20/20 vision. We can see up in the air and see through buildings and whatnot while they're working with what they've got on the ground. We are going to swap sides really quick as we get situated for this next round. INS will play British. British will play INS. And, yeah, what were your guys' opinions on this last round? What do you think? Who do you think could have played a little bit better? What do you think the INS could have done to maybe keep their triggerman alive and blow the bomb? Or what do you think the British could have done better to hold their final points? Phoenix, do you have any opinions on the matter?
I think INS did a really good job of handling the loss of guys that they had. Kind of they had a really good rotation to the British exfil location. Ultimately, though, I think what lost it for the British was a 700-meter desert dash. Perhaps if they had chosen a slightly more acute entry point, they may not have lost so many people off the get-go. Because certainly once British breached, they were stacking bodies. So if they had just a few more guys off the jump, they might have been able to pull that through.
Yeah,
a little bit better.
I agree that 700-meter dash through the desert just didn't really pay off for them. Maybe if they'd tried from Oasis down south push, or maybe if they really wanted to push from the desert, push through the desert from the south, pushing north, less tall buildings for you to get shot from. Yeah, and you still get your run in. But they managed to almost complete their objective. It came down to the wire. British INS kept 4 up by the end, or had 4 up by the end. We'll see how these guys decide to do it as they play the other side. As we wait for squads to get created, let's go over who will be participating in this squad, or in this operation command-wise. For the British platoon, we have platoon lead Dorf, with his squad leads Swine, Alpha Guido, William FBD, and Evan SMA. Evan SMA being the 2IC. For the insurgents, we have platoon lead Storm, with his squad lead Bump, Bag of Joe, Best Pony, and Dentrick, I believe. His 2IC being Pony. So, pretty good platoon leads on both sides, pretty good squad leads on both sides. It really came down to just having more of the original command structure up towards the end, where they had, you know, they had Swine and a couple others, like Tom Peach, Revy, a couple people who know how to take charge when shit hits the fan, whereas Storm's guys were really hurting for somebody to take charge for the last 8 or 9 guys that were left remaining. And that sometimes that makes or breaks the round. See you when I die. See you when you die, Grey Boo. Make sure to mute the stream. What is up, the Russian? Let's go over this operation now that everybody's created. I can create my squad.
Alright. We're gonna just basically go from north to south through the city.
Let's let's listen in on Dwarf's plan, see if he has any strategies, or if he starts strategizing right away, if he goes into a platoon brief. But other than that, let's go over what the operation is.
I think you can choose whatever one.
I don't think he is going over anything important just yet. Yeah. So, Operation Rotten Eggnog. Phoenix will give the more detailed plan, but at its core, this is a search and destroy operation with a manhunt as a secondary objective. The British forces are searching for chemical weapons, and also looking for the triggerman. Phoenix, you want to go into more details about what this operation is exactly?
Yeah, sure. So the INS they've set up chemical weapons inside the city. I think at this time we are unsure as to the exact location. And INS has a timed explosive detonator on there with a trigger man, in this case being the commander. British's goal will be to set up outside the city. I believe they'll be starting in Maine, and they're going to breach El Basra. They have a 2-part mission, the first being search and destroy, eliminating those actual chemical weapons, and the second being the manhunt, trying to find the INS command. Ultimately, if they're unable to actually eliminate the INS command and the explosives do go off, British will need to exfil and set up a fob and wait for decontamination teams to clear El Basra, ultimately resulting in INS storming down on British at their exfil location.
Definitely not me.
Okay, so swine is out.
Should be a fun
Willie
one.
will not be getting the
Yeah.
bulldogs.
No, should definitely be a fun operation. Assets that they get to sort of complete their mission. British forces, they get per squad 1 squad lead, 2 fire team leads, 2 automatic riflemen, and 1 medic per squad. The platoon armory, which the platoon lead can deal out as he sees fit, is 1 marksman, which we didn't actually see do too much. It definitely was probably the avenue of approach that Storm had chosen. Didn't really open up the marksman to be used as effectively as it could have been. They get the 1 marksman, they get 2 MGs and 2 light anti-tank kits. We'll see how Dwarf decides to deal those out. Vehicles, they get 2 FV 432s, aka the Bulldogs, and 3 logistic trucks. INS assets include 1 squad lead, 2 fire team leads, 2 automatic riflemen, 2 raiders, and 1 medic per squad. There's cell cache, which the platoon lead can deal out as he sees fit, or cache leader can deal out as he sees fit, are 2 heavy anti-tank kits and 4 light anti-tank kits. So a lot of explosives to sort of deal with the Bulldogs. We'll see how the INS decide to, where they decide to place themselves to deal with the Bulldogs, because they can choose 1 of 4 locations, and 1 of 4 locations to put down their, what's the word I'm looking for, their explosives, their chemical cache, their chemical explosives, and then there are 1 of 2 locations that the trigger man will be, aka the platoon lead will be. It
appears they've chosen their explosives location as well.
They have
Take a look
chosen
at
location.
Fox 897.
Alright, Fox 897. So they've chosen 1 of the northern cache locations.
Where did you want my squad
Yeah, a
again?
completely different area than the south. A lot more high rises for the INS to sort of camp out in. They've got the apartments to their north. They've got the mosque to their east. They got a couple buildings, like low buildings that they can run between near the point. Could be interesting for them to hold. Have they set it down yet? I don't think they've actually set it down just yet. Oh, yep. Yes, they have.
On that truck mark.
This is the British objective now. There are chemicals in this barrel. In these barrels, the chemical is called EGNG13, Eggnog 13, and it is set to blow at this location. How long do they have?
Okay.
40 minutes.
I'll be moving with.
So off of live, British have 40 minutes to take out this objective, or take out the trigger man. Which has he picked his spot yet? I don't think so.
No, you're
where he moves. Oh, look, yeah, he has picked his spot.
Yeah, no, I'm talking.
He's chosen the northern hideouts,
I'll
just east of Mosque. So right off the bat, we don't know exactly where INS are going to position themselves, but it's going to center around Mosque and apartments, I'd say. Maybe Mosque and Courtyard. Try and cover the explosives and their cache leader and their trigger man. Has live been called yet? No, it has not.
Alpha Guido the extra lat. That's still available.
Oh, we got an extra lat? A copy.
Yeah, so we had 2 lads, and I gave 1 of them to William. You're getting together.
I was leading in the end, Freedom Fighter. Yep, your squad leading. You got it. Take charge, man. Be less hesitant. I believe in you. Make a decision. We're doing a full squad brief yet. I am unsure. Let's go check. Dwarf likes to do full squad briefs, I think, or full platoon briefs. So it looks like that's what we'll be lining up for. Yeah.
Sandbag is actually the safest of all safety tools.
Sorry.
The bandage vest.
We'll go ahead and listen into Dwarf's platoon brief.
I love how the boots are actually accurate to what we wear.
Dwarf, why'd you peek?
Why did you peek? I killed 1 gunner, and I was waiting for the other guy to get back on top of the gun. And he got back on top. Yeah, he got back on top of the gun, and I twitched a little too much, and my shot missed by like a centimeter.
Yeah,
Like,
but you hate to see it.
It's a shame you didn't use the other two pull.
You should have seen how Peach did. Like, brrrah.
Yeah,
that
every
guy
time no
down.
one came in my building and shot, they got schwacked. So
I would shoot it, but you know, you were too impatient, I guess.
considering we fought that round down an entire squad, I think we did okay.
Yeah, that was pretty
What actually happened? What happened to the first squad? Because no one saw it, obviously.
They were in the techies using the embankment as like cover, and they drifted into the water.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And was
that's what
Emma being
happened.
driving?
It was me and Vindy, and you know
Well,
that air doesn't work out.
Emma,
well.
why is it always your fault?
Can you try back again?
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait,
man.
Emma, why are you on our team?
Well, Emma, I like how you take you both take ownership, and then you also throw Vindication under the bus.
Well, of course, you can't not throw Vindy under the bus too. So.
Hey, Lima Bean, did you know you're gonna be voted as the worst fucking vehicle handler?
Hey,
well, I would have.
Can't give out the results.
I'm in all of our
I'm gonna
hearts,
give
you're
him out
secretly
after
the
this.
best.
You are.
You got 10,000.
Alright, we got everyone here. We good?
But every op, I just keep on being placed
Yeah.
in squads with vehicles. So.
More like Lima fail.
Well, you can't say he's not consistent.
Got him there.
More
It's
like
very
Lima
racist.
bail.
Be quiet. It's the plan. Alright. Good job, guys. Held off. Killed fucking massacred them as they came across that field. That's fantastic. Swine did a great job leading the survivors to Oasis or gas station or whatever it was. Finishing them off. Plan this round. Evan SMA is going to be taking a bulldog, loading his bulldog up, and they're going to be dismounting at the striker mark in Fox 799. It will be our northwestern element. They're going to be acting as base of fire, and later on, assault force as needed. Alpha Guido will be doing the same thing. He will be coming down, following along with our two Logi trucks, coming down the eastern MSR, and he's going to dismount his guys over here at the machine gun mark in his bulldog. He also has the marksman kit for the platoon, so hopefully they'll make good use of that. The other squads, William and Swine and myself, will be coming down the eastern MSR in the Logi trucks and dismounting here on the tank mark refinery. From there, we'll push south through the eastern half of town. Swine will cut through here, while William will cut through Mosque. So to say that again, Swine will be cutting in tight to the main MSR, east-west MSR, while William be cutting through the Mosque area. Our enemy, the insurgent chemical weapon is in Fox 897, roughly. So let's get that bread. Any questions? No questions? Alright.
Clarification, time till detonation.
Yes. Time till detonation is about 35 minutes.
Thank you.
Question?
40 minutes.
35
sorry.
on the clock?
40 minutes after live. It'll
Cat
be...
Please has a question.
Roger.
I heard his question. I was clarifying the other one. Go ahead.
There's confirmed enemy at Mosque, right? Like every time?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I actually don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Wait, the northern hideout is in Mosque map.
It's not in Mosque. It's in one of the buildings just east of Mosque. It's
Yeah,
the,
if they're there, you'll find out.
Don't worry about
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can shoot him when you see him.
Alright, so
I don't know what the fuck
should be a relatively simple plan from Dwarf. Just gonna try and push north to south from from Refinery into Mosque. I don't think he knows exactly where the explosives are, but so he sort of will cut Al Basra in half and take charge of that south part of Mosque.
weapons before you get in.
We're just gonna get loaded up. What is your opinions on this? These plans, Phoenix? Either be the British or the INS.
Wait.
Well, it sounds like the British have actually chosen the intel package, letting them know where they get to do a drone flyover of 2 of the probable IED locations, and they actually pinged on the Bravo one. So if they don't know the exact location, they are somewhat aware of the general location, maybe within like 1 subgrid. And it sounds like that's going to be to Dorf's benefit as he pushes in from the north. The interesting part here, though, is that Storm has tasked Bag of Joe with setting up in the Gulf 7-8 sector, basically. So we may actually see some contact right off the bat here.
Okay, so Storm's actually going to put some guys on his north.
It sounds like it. It sounds like Bag is going to set up maybe a fire team up. We'll see how quickly they either collapse back into the town or whether they hold their own.
Yeah.
Good, Monkey. How can I play? How can I play with you guys if I can? John Monkey, just check us out, squadops.gg. All you have to do is sign up on our website to take our basic training. After you take our basic training, only about 45 minutes to an hour. You can then participate in any and all of our Squad Ops events. You also need squad and whatnot. If you have any questions about our Squad Ops basic course or our Squad Ops courses in general, Phoenix actually is the manager of our SOTT courses, and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any of your questions. How's it going, Halo? Cool Halo. Is this Milsim, Mr. Unigi? This is, I guess it's kinda Milsim-y. We really play these events for, like, the experience is not really about winning or losing. So, yeah, I guess it's pretty Milsim-y. So we are live. British forces immediately pushing east off the bat. They're probably going to hit this G highway and push south off of that. INS forces going to try and move to set up their locations. It'll take them a minute to get into position. We'll follow the British forces until then. Is OP4 AI? No, this is player versus player. This is full 36 people versus 36 people, or it's like 35 people and 35 people. As the bigger the servers get, the more people we will hold, and the more interest people get, the more people who want to participate, the more people we can have in the events. British force is just going to continue south on their way.
Shadow, I don't know how to break this to you, but if you will scan over to Gulf 9-5, you may find that it is not uncommon for INS to have amphibious vehicle access.
Again, unfortunate. They flipped something.
I think the techie has been lost to the deep radioactive sea of Elbaz. Unknown if they've lost any foot mobiles from it, though.
So they're gonna be forced to walk. They get guys sort of where they need them. They get Bag of Joe's fire team out there to sort of hold the north part near refinery. Squad 4 and Squad 3 forced to walk. Fitzy's going back to pick up some guys. We'll see if he can get them in. But yep, looks like they're down a techie. Really hard to use techies with anyway. It's really hard to use techies well anyways. They usually just die. In my experience for some of our ops, you got to be really on the ball with your techies, and it really falls to the squad lead and the individual like driver gunner pairs. Bag of Joe's in position to spot anybody who comes out of refinery. See what happens. But is this a normal game? This is a one life event. My Unig's so hard. So once you go down, you're down. The medic can bandage you, or you can bandage yourself, and the medic can heal you back to full, or the medic can bandage you and heal you back to full. But once you go down with the little electricity mark over your head, you are 100% down. So Dwarfs guys in refinery going to continue to push south. Alpha Guido's squad gets dropped off by the Bulldog. It's in a really good spot to actually cover them as they push south through refinery if he can get eyes onto this high rise. Other than that, he's just really going to soak up some bullets from Best Pony's squad, Patrick Starr's building, and whatnot.
to focus eyes.
Alright, I only have two.
It's looking like with the loss of that techie, Bag of Joe's team has decided to set up in that high red, which may actually end up being more advantageous for them as they'll be able to see the enemies pushing from this refinery and Gulf 8 sector.
Yeah, I'm not sure Bag of Joe's seen this.
The building at
So,
5736.
Alpha spotted Bag of Joe's infantry, and they're lighting them up.
Ice Cube goes down. That was a very quick snap from the British.
Nice shot. Yep, I was looking at the guys right below it. I like driver over gunning in today. I agree with that, Yuzi. I feel like I'm a better driver, and it's easier to keep the vehicle alive as the driver. So I like driving. Ice Cube goes down. They're gonna think twice about peeking that building again. Really nice line overall from Dwarf as he gets ready to push in. Yeah, this is a pretty solid line. Then on the other side, INS are set to sort of stop this.
We spotted
This is going to be some brutal fighting. Alpha Guido lighting up Bag of Joe's building. Bag of Joe takes a shot.
200 degrees, roof out. 200 degrees.
Revy gets shot. Long range shot from Best Pony, looks like.
I believe Gulf 735.
INS have called out the enemy contacts pushing through south of refinery. Seems like they're also aware of the contacts across the river, of course, in that Gulf 7 area. Unknown at this time if they know if anyone's in Fox 7 though.
The Stig goes down. Yeah, I'm not sure anybody knows about the Fox 7. There's definitely fire being exchanged from refinery and the buildings just direct, what is this, west of refinery. But these guys in refinery, they need to either push or start laying down a more solid base so those guys at F7 can move. Tech is in a pretty okay spot. The discus sounds though, yeah, the discus sounds really nice in admin cam now. I like its positioning here. This is more what it's good at in a sort of hold down E position where it can sort of lay down fire without fear of getting shot out, and then it's able to pull out really quickly and reposition.
Command, I'm shifting my Bulldog east to support the infantry pushing up.
How many matches left? This is round 2, so we will be done with matches for a couple hours. We will have more a session 2 later on today. Check us out, squadups.gg. It's all in your local time. But this is the last match or last round for this session. We do have SOTT today, don't we, Phoenix?
That's right, we have one SOTT basic set up for today in between the operations. If you go onto the website, you can sign up there. I think there is currently a wait list, but don't let that discourage you. Oftentimes, for numerous number of reasons, people end up not showing up. And we're always willing to accommodate, maybe a little bit of wiggle room on extras.
Oh, Swine just gets demolished by that Dishkateki fired by Fitzy or Mr. Baku. Wow, that was brutal. Just takes out Swine. That's a squad lead down.
Jack, what's your status?
They're losing momentum here slowly. The British need to keep this up, but I'm not sure how they're going to get past that Dishkateki without a Bulldog coming up to support them. The Bulldogs are being very hesitant right now, as they were last round. Really afraid to get shot out of him, it seems. I'd like to see them be a little more aggressive, push in there, soak up some bullets so your infantry can move. They do have a smoke generator. Not great, but it is something. They're loud. How come revive mechanic is not allowed? It's just something for our events, just to make them one life, to make them a little more immersive and intense. It's sort of our reasoning for this, just to make them different than a regular game. Sort of, it's not after, going after the points, it's going after specific objectives and just to sort of make things a little more interesting. So, one life event, need to have one life for that, can't revive.
Squad 2 can go in and push now.
Copy that.
Say again?
We can go in and now.
British laying down fire where they can. But they're still not moving. They need to start pushing if they want to, have any kind of momentum going forward here.
I'm interested to see if this British squad just north of the river decides to move east and to go through refinery, or if they decide to go west and go around the other way.
Yeah, speaking of, yeah, Alpha Guido squad, they got a couple different areas to move through. Push south, they can push south through this, like, it's not, isn't deep, it's this little river thing. If they push south through that and then take position in those buildings, that might be a better foothold for them, so that way squads 2 and 4 in refinery can push past them. And then they can either move east or west from there.
I can't see shit down.
And Evan disconnected.
Dorf, this is up. This is level 1. Taking over for Dorf, or for Evan.
Roger. E-Fang, just hold tight.
Got it.
Well, in mode 1 down, they got mode down.
Actually, are you still able to push up that? What do you think?
Score right now is 4-4. They're actually quite even.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 for British, 4 for insurgents, even game. I'm not sure. I think the INS are in a better position right now just because there are less guys holding up more people. Like, for the insurgents, they've got 2 full squads almost that aren't engaged and are free to maneuver wherever necessary. Whereas squads 2, 4, and 3 are being held up by, looks like, just squad 2 and a fire team from squad 3.
Very good point. It'll be interesting to see if Storm uses his western unengaged elements aggressively, or if he holds them in place.
Guys starting to move. William FBD gets mowed down by the same Dishkateki.
My guys are getting chewed over here.
How are logistics handled? Resupplies like normal. In a normal game, resupplies and logistics are handled by logistics trucks. I mean, and I guess in our One Life events, we do have, sometimes we have fobs and buildings and whatnot. The same thing, handled by logistics trucks, which can hold the ammo points and build points. This Dishka here by Mr. Baku and Freedom Fighter, actually not Freedom Fighter, Mr. Baku. It's in a really powerful position. He's starting to move out, getting really aggressive with it. This may be where he dies. Yeah, he gets shot.
And there he goes.
Yeah, his other spot where, yeah. Good position.
He had a good run.
Yeah, he did have a good run. How many kills did he end up with? He ended up with 5.
Looks like 5.
Yeah, 5 kills. Really powerful position. He didn't need to push out there. He just got a little ambitious and over anxious. Looks like Bag of Joe had gone down. They're clearing out this building slowly but surely, held by Cobra. And the British might have an avenue to push in here soon. I meant for this event, like mortars and resupplies. We don't have, there are no mortars allocated for this event. So yeah, no, there are only explosives that are going to be from frag rounds, hat rounds, lat rounds.
And Alpha, you keep doing your thing.
But we don't have any mortars in this event.
They're gonna fall back.
This is a no-file event. Yeah, just strictly infantry with a few techies and bulldogs for added maneuverability.
And that's just gonna be right in front of us.
Yeah, it's hard for infantry to push buildings without smoke rounds. Yeah, I agree with that. They gotta really utilize their smokes. And they gotta use these bulldogs a little more effectively, I feel. The top-down shots is very deadly, but they can, if like shots to the front, they can bounce all day, every day. Even shots to the side. And I feel like they gotta use their bulldogs a little more aggressively. So Fitzy's in a really good spot to stop Dorf from pushing across here. Let's take an overall view of this. Phoenix, you want to give us an overhead view of what exactly is going on for the British? How do you think they're going to approach pushing onto their objective, which I'll go fly over now?
Dorf, do you want squad 1 moving south?
Well, we have to keep in mind the British actually, they know the location of the chemical weapons that they're pushing. And despite that, it looks like the majority of their push is coming through refinery. So it'll be interesting to see if, due to the fact that INS also have the majority of their forces over there, if the British end up choosing to reroute and come in from the northern side of the explosive. But for now, it seems like they're committed to pushing into the city and then west, which will mean a lot of CQB as they push through these buildings east of Mosque, as well as just Mosque itself.
So hovering over this is their objective, and they've got 40 minutes before it is blown. We've been live for 12 minutes about. Live was
1:45.
Oh, not even. We've been live about 8 minutes. No, yeah, about no, 13 minutes. So
test Dwarf.
20 something minutes.
I'm gonna need you to actually, you know what?
Along those lines, a little more than 20 minutes. Not this hard.
If
To
you
push
can,
this
get on the
objective
southern side of your
before it is
compound.
blown, it's either kill or dig this up, dig that IED up, or kill the triggerman, which is
Which building? Sorry.
Storm, who is Mass. Yes, that's right, Mr. Yuzi. Right.
The buildings are heading
here.
to south, getting those.
Where's Storm?
Lima Bay,
Right
keep going
here.
south. Three move south them.
They look like they're pushing for Storm.
We're trying to move south right
That's
now.
sort of how Dwarf is having his guys position. Looks like he really wants to push Storm's building and kill the Triggerman without getting the IED. Well, one is in a really good spot. If they can clear out this squad 1 from you, British versus squad 1 for the INS, if they clear them out, they can possibly, you know, take out the chemical weapons.
Gotcha. I got your south close.
A lot of guys over here in the south, though.
Moving.
British forces have 7 kills, INS have 9. Still anybody's game.
Dorf Meigner's down on Bulldog currently.
Roger. Just
INS has called out that Bulldog movement though. It looks like Pony's trying to set up a plan to blast him as he pushes through the intersection.
They've spotted it coming in at least. See what they can do. Yeah, Pony's pushing aggressively towards that intersection. Frags out on the north, being really doing a lot of damage to the British. This is being really aggressive with this Bulldog. I like it. No gunner though.
To stop pushing west, I need you to push south. It's gonna be a fucking bloody affair, but we need to get down there.
Yeah, Pony's pushing really aggressively into Alpha Guido's squad. They're in the same buildings now. Pony looks like he went down. Sentry.
We got stairs. Contact first floor. Right side of the right side of the door.
I'm gonna.
Ready? Get a frag out. Get a frag out. Frag. Fragging. You gotta get it in and around to the right.
If you look at these British, they're actually doing Efang's holding the stairs, while the others are attacking Sentry.
He's down.
Sentry goes down. Solid building clear for the British.
Yeah, that was really solid building clear. Anything holding that. Sentry goes down. Looks like Best Pony had gone down as well. One is doing a pretty solid job of pushing south from their position. They're in an okay spot to start maybe pushing on the chemical weapon. A lot of guys they still need to clear out though. 3.
Going right.
I think about 6 or 7 guys versus the 4 of them.
Ready for you, Frank.
Let's see. Looks like the Bulldog gets blown up by something. Looks like Cobra possibly had the top-down shot on him.
I'm like last in my squad. I'm last in my squad.
Fitzy's got the techie.
Yep. Techie close. In this building, guys. In the building.
Go.
I'm yelling at his guys. Get in this building. Oh, Fitzy just mows down too.
Alright, move to the alley.
DNC trying to shoot at Fitzy. Fitzy gets to, makes him think. Otherwise, Fitzy's out of there.
Solid use of this techie. I think this techie is now up to 7 enemy kills.
Yeah, that techie's done a lot of work. 9 kills for the British, 18 for the INS. Really difficult for the British to push in for them. A very difficult objective for the British to accomplish, considering how many assets the INS have to really hold buildings. They've got 2 Raider kits per squad. Those PPSHs for locking down stairways, for locking down doorways. It just makes it a slog for the British.
The sound of them alone is absolutely terrifying as you try and breach a building.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And Fitzy's done a lot of work with this. Dishkateki, it was Fitzy and who else was it? Was it somebody who got super aggressive? Yeah, Bakbu.
Alright, we're super disorganized. We need to
A lot of work. We're trying to reconsolidate his forces. Really, yeah, he makes a solid point. These guys are really disorganized.
How much contact do you have?
The call might be to go west.
Keep push south. There's still an enemy.
I'd say the push south isn't working here. Dwarf is saying to continue to push south. I don't agree. They've got an open corridor of buildings to push west. Hook up with Squad 1, and then try for an approach straight down this like the center part of Al Basra. This push south on the east is not working for them. They're just getting chewed up. They need I think a different call needs to be made.
I think Dorf likely believes that these buildings north of Mosque are, which perhaps is his apprehension in going west.
Yeah, his original goal was to push around Mosque and then push west from the south side of Mosque. But yeah, we can see through these buildings. We've got the the outlines and everything. He's working with what he's got on the ground. He most likely thinks there are less guys in the approach he's pushing, and he's actually trying to just get around them. When in fact, he's pushing directly into contact in almost every direction. So Fitzy gets a gunner or gets a driver. Yeah, bump man's that techie is in fully operational again.
Keep pushing southwest if you can.
Let's see if it's the techie or the drivers or gunners.
Fox 894. Copy, Fox 894, anime.
Oh, you see that position of that techie? Just gonna lock down the alleyway. If anybody gets in this lower alley, they're just gonna get chewed up. 9 kills for the British, 22 for the insurgents.
Well, that's your objective regardless, but...
enemy in the high ground, high rise. E4, I'm guessing.
Understood. I hear it.
So it's Dwarf.
If you take a look at...
Go ahead.
If you take a look at Fox 733, you'll see both teams, Squad 1s, are about to come into contact together.
I think this is where a majority of this action is going to have. This is a bulk of the British forces. There was only 2 left on the north. I saw Dwarf and Chaplin.
Yeah.
Wayne's eyes up.
So they're on Ryan's building.
Southwest.
Wayne is in this squad. Wayne, Daltus, E-Fank, and Loopy. Here, E-Fank's in charge of this, but they've got some shooters. I always like.
It sounds like each of them know that the enemy is there. They're waiting for the other one to blink. Seems like the INS squad is trying to get some shots down, but of course that angle isn't great from these higher buildings.
Guys,
alright.
Hold on. When you're ready, try to cover.
Alright, moving now.
US just positioning themselves to push. Trying to psych themselves up. Loopy's gonna push into the building. Ryan's looking.
Contact 225. Hey, this is their second force.
Do you need to get your vehicle in the fight? Go
Loopy
ahead.
makes it.
Loaded.
They're in this building, second floor.
Okay.
Yeah, Loopy trying to pull a one-man building breach. I don't know if he's taking advance, but that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, nobody else really followed him in. E-Fank got caught trying to push in. E-Fank's moving now. Moving under fire. He stops, so he should have just kept moving.
Shift 1 building right.
Now he's in a bad... It's not
Is
like
that contact
he's
from the east that he's taking? Oh
yeah,
no,
it
it's
looks
from
like
the southwest as well.
Zaki.
Southwest as well.
Yeah, it's Zaki from the southwest. He should have just kept moving. He would have made it. E-Fank's laying fire down onto Zaki.
Gets him.
Wow, good shots. He's got to get in there to help Loopy clear this building out. Checking things out on the north. Looks like everybody's dead. Dwarf's the only one remaining. Dwarf is dead too. That whole eastern push is done for. It's gonna come down to E-Fank, Lima Bean, Wayne Newton, and friends. Loopy.
Loading.
Yeah, E-Fank and his boys are so close, yet so far away. Only 50 meters from the enemy chemical weapon.
Yeah, the chemical weapon is right. Oh, shot onto the Bulldog doesn't go down. Go show you where the chemical weapons are. Where is it? Did I lose it? No, it's right here. Right here. So close. I was gunning the Dishka or whatever it's called. In the end, my shot started to hit the cover I was behind, which is why I tried to move it out a bit. Bad move. Oh yeah, you got like 4 kills. You did good, Twitch Monies. You did good.
You want me to run the same?
INS have knocked out the gunner from this bulldog.
Actually,
Bulldog is now mostly just scary with no bite.
South into the next building south. While we're suppressing the second floor, we're gonna run south.
So Loopy's still alive. Looks like E-Fink has gone down. Wayne Newton's taking charge. Bulldog may go down here. Appa takes another shot.
Shot connects. Looks like Bulldog is at roughly 25% health.
This I got the last guy one shot at. Although all my shots went into cover, so I thought I couldn't kill anyone. Oh, dude, you're a wrecking shit, Twitch Monies. Update on British, still left alive. 12 kills for the British, 28 kills for the insurgents. I count 1, 2, 4 British forces remaining versus a lot of INS.
Appa back in the gun for this Bulldog. Looks like he's trying to suppress this building as his E-Fink's fire team tries to...
Yeah, Appa's got to reload. E-Fink's trying to move. Yeah, almost 19 insurgents left against these 4 British. Appa's trying to shoot what he can, but the smoke's making it very difficult. Wayne Noon, Daltus, and Loopy. I think Wayne Noon's in charge of these guys now. Just hearing the local comms coming out of this. Axe and his fire team are in a really solid spot to push this. That's engine dead. Oh, it probably got tracked. Yeah, the engine's probably dead. Yeah, it looks like the insurgents are winning. The insurgents are quite handedly in the lead right now. Superior positioning, and maybe not their superior positioning, it's just Dwarf just refusal to sort of change angles that he was approaching for. He really wanted to force this south push on the mosque, and he was just getting torn up for it. And he probably noticed just a little too late, because he wasn't losing guys slowly. He was losing guys in 2s and 3s as they tried to push buildings. So maybe he thought he was trading efficiently or effectively, but it just wasn't working out for him. Oh, this Bulldog is just soaking him up, but it's not moving anywhere. Appa's just got to ditch this, hook up with the guys, and try and push in on foot. Dubs goes down. That was a fragment. There's a lot of dead people there. Daltus has
Bulldog's on fire and it pops.
Watch out, watch out.
Bulldogs finally goes down. Heavy fire should have meant a lot of people there should have moved. Yeah, I agree. Maybe changing up the approach, because one has had a pretty mild success here trying to push in from their angle they pushed in. Maybe less. I'm not saying don't push that's east flank entirely, but I'm saying this flank would have done better with maybe another squad on this angle.
Two-story with the red lining.
Daltus, Loopy, the only ones remaining, and Wayne. So it's these three guys remaining against the full INS platoon. Just about the full.
All right, Loopy, take it outside, bro. Get to the next hard cover.
All right, ready. Let's go.
Covering east.
All right, set.
Oh no, Loopy gets spotted. As he says, set gets himself killed and Wayne Newton killed from HML and Particle. Loopy runs out, says
down.
set.
Guy's down. Anyone up?
Takes out, it was like Pat something. HML's still watching. Unfortunate. Daltus last one remaining. He's a medic. So he's got the, what is it called? The SUSAT? Think it'll be advantageous for him.
I was hoping Daltus would make a push for this chemical weapons, but his window to do so, it looks like it's snapping shut. INS has moved into position to actually cover it now.
I'm not sure he knows exactly where it is.
Could have been a breakdown in comms. At one point, Dorf and all squad leads knew the exact location.
Yeah. Daltus is here, but you're right. They got Dentric, Axe, Nova, and Hero sort of watching over this. He's floating towards it. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no. Nova spotted him, takes him out, and that's it, I think. Hey, how can I get into a clan or something? I used to be squad frontline, but I was there a long time ago. Check us out, squadups.gg, if you want to participate in these events. Thank you everybody for who joined us. Thank you for all the guys who squad led. Thank you everybody who participated in these events. If you liked what you saw and you want to give us a follow, twitch.tv/squadups, we would really appreciate it. We also upload our videos onto youtube.com/squadups. I was your commentator for this evening, ShadowedRitual. Phoenix was the co-commentator. We will catch you guys in a couple hours for another Squad Ops event. But until then, check us out, squadups.gg, for any information you have. It can be answered there.
Thanks for coming out, guys.